Drinking Bros. Put down the water and grab a fucking drink.
Alrighty then.
All the way up.
Three young gentlemen
All the way
Getting
up.
a nice Colorado breeze.
a nice Colorado breeze.
I'm all the way up.
You're not. You're all the way down. Actually, you can't see it at home, boys and girls. Jared Taylor, no lie, polished off an entire bottle of Tito's vodka and is currently. You look like you're beached right now.
To be honest, I'm gonna have to actually move over because I cannot hear Jared outside. What the fuck he's saying?
Here, I'll move.
I don't know if he cares about the podcast tonight, but I
Can't
do.
hear him.
I do.
Can't see him. He's full beached at this point.
I'm not full beach. What does that even mean?
You're full beached. You got to talk into the microphone. You're full beached down there.
You know what this is kind of? I just thought of this is like the attrition podcast because we lost Evan. We're gonna lose Jared.
Yeah,
we're
you're not
going for
losing
it.
me. I'm here.
We're logging. No, I mean the next one. I think we're gonna lose you.
I'm
I
just
know.
Might be Free
horizontal.
Willy.
You might be gone.
You might be.
You might be gone.
I'm horizontal.
Yeah, God, we got a Black Hawk down in there.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, kids. I can tell you just from Jared Taylor laying on the floor, it's gonna be a real shit show tonight.
I fucking hope so. I'm gonna chug this whiskey because I'm gonna get weird.
You should. You should.
Let's get
I'll put it to
stupid.
this way, Jared. You're so drunk that you pressured us into drinking more. We're live from
All right.
Colorado. We're in Denver. It's our last night here. We're enjoying the shit out of this weather, and we're gonna try to do our best tonight. But I don't know if it's possible. You're spilling all over yourself. It is lit. There's
Yeah, that
vodka
is-
all over your shirt.
I just want a little bit more.
Oh God.
Well, Ross, hello. I'm present. How are you? You know,
Mr. Matt Best is here, present, alive, alert, and awake.
I'm like fucking Christmas right now. You know,
You really
I'm
are.
like a Noel or whatever Christmas is. I'm present.
Either way, you know.
You're fucking Noel? Christmas?
I'm Christmas.
You're-
I'm
you are-
Christmas.
you
I
are-
am
you're like
Christmas in
fucking
October.
Christmas.
Yeah, you are Christmas in
You're like-
October. Ding, 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 ding. That's when it's lovely weather for Jared to fucking throw up on the floor. This is gonna be a real
No,
experience
I'm
tonight.
not gonna throw up.
So here's the thing. As you know from every other show, we start off with sponsors tonight. I'm almost going to say they're going to be embarrassed of this show just by Jared's behavior.
Jared is literally
It's not
laying.
my behavior.
laying on the floor.
I've
lying
got
on
one,
the floor.
I've got one leg up.
Oh God!
I got
that
one
leg
leg
is
up.
all the way up. It's on the side of a sliding glass door.
You would almost think that this is not a business. It's just merely fun.
No,
you know?
it
You
is.
know?
I know it is.
I got to roll to get my drink.
Oh God! He's rolling over on the floor,
And on
folks.
his iPhone. Okay, so
Oh,
yeah,
good
the
boy.
sponsors, they make this possible, and we love them.
They do. We do. And first up, we got a little sponsor called Haven Lock. And I'm going to be honest on this one, Matt. I think I wish we would have put the Haven Mac device on the
Jared's-
liquor cabinet
Yeah, the
door.
liquor cabinet. I was going to say Jared's
So he
drinking.
couldn't open it up anymore.
Right.
Because this is turned into a
I don't
shit
deserve that.
show. Yeah, you do. Right now, you'd be cut off if we were at a bar.
Yeah.
Your parents
No.
are probably ashamed
look,
of you.
Look at your
right
shirt.
now.
His shirt is covered.
Covered in vodka.
With the Jareds, I really feel sometimes like the audience thinks that we're fucking around. Like, oh, it's a skit.
It's not.
It's
not. It's real.
It's real.
It's real. Yeah. Yeah. There's like a grunting. You're nowhere near the microphone either. No one can hear
sorry.
you.
I was
Again,
having
it's an
another
audio
sip.
show.
I was having another sip.
And on that audio show, we got Haven Lock as
Haven
our
Lock.
first sponsor. Look, on average, it takes about 3 kicks to kick in a fucking front door. With the Haven Mac device, it takes more than 50. You want to keep your family safe? You want to keep your wife safe, your dog safe, your pet turtle safe? Go to havenlock.com. Order the Haven Mac. It's the best deadbolt you'll ever have for your door. They're veteran owned. Whether or not they were in combat is up to you.
Well, guess what? The good thing about being a veteran is you served your country, and some people.
Goddamn right.
You know, the real thing is you'd want to serve your country when there wasn't a war because that means we're in peacetime, which would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I'm glad I got to shoot some fuckers in the face, but
Yeah.
I like the Haven Lock, man.
They
That
didn't
shit's dope
have the
'cause you-
Haven Lock.
Yeah. Haven
Yeah,
Lock.
You kicked their door in.
I feel like we should almost just kick Jared off this podcast and just do a onesies and twosies.
I know.
Never.
I know it. I know
Never.
it. So
I've got good
go
stuff to tell you.
go to havenlock.com. Get yourself a Haven Mac device. Type in the promo code Drinkin Bros. you get a Haven lock you get a lock on your fucking door for $99, which is almost like stealing. I feel
Right. It's you got 99 problems, but a lock ain't one.
like.
You know.
Goddamn right.
Right?
Goddamn right.
I'm
it's
pretty
not.
sure Jay-Z owns one. I mean, I know Kanye wants one after that Kim Kardashian
I
bullshit.
know.
She had a Haven lock. There was no tying up in the bathtub.
Exactly.
You know?
And she was duct taped, lying in the tub with the concierge. She had a Haven mech. Boom. That shit wouldn't happen.
No.
Fucking, where's Franklin on this one? You need a picture.
Franklin
of,
Chambliss.
Yeah, you need a picture
nice
of-
meme
Yeah,
of
that just
Kim
says-
Kardashian,
Yep,
duct
that says
taped,
Haven
zip
lock
tied.
would have prevented this.
Yeah, Haven. that might even be their new
Their
slogan.
new ad campaign.
Next up, we got a fan fave. One of the biggest, one of the brightest, one of the sexiest in the land. It's a little tiny energy drink that we like to call
Strikeforce.
StrikeForceEnergy.com.
Love it.
Feel the tiger. I think that's their new slogan. I'm kidding. I just made that up.
Is it Ride the Tiger?
It could be
Dun,
Ride
dun,
the
dun,
Tiger.
dun,
Feel
dun,
the
dun,
feel the
dun,
tiger.
Ride the
dun,
Death
dun,
Tiger.
Strike Force.
Strike Force, ride that tiger,
dun,
strike
dun,
force,
dun, dun.
punch that clown, strike force, kill that puma, strike
Force.
force. Yeah. So go to strikeforceenergy.com, get the tastiest, tiniest little energy drink in a little tiny tin pouch.
Kick the fucking can,
Kick
bro.
the can, bro. You don't need a fucking can anymore. You got a pouch, dude.
Fuck cans, not the environment, right?
Exactly, dude. Since Strike Force has been around, there's been over 4,287 dolphins saved. That's fact. What is fiction is that people give a shit because they don't.
They
They don't give a shit about the environment, but they should. And if you got kids, you should go out and get some StrikeForceEnergy.com. Stop buying Red Bull. Put that in the fucking can. Get yourself some StrikeForceEnergy.com. Go to their website, type in the promo code Drinkin' Bros. You get 20% off of everything. And they also have a subscription, and they deliver everywhere
They
in the entire world.
Which is you know me. I consistently say this in the podcast. I like subscriptions because I'm a lazy mother.
Same here.
I'm
Same
Jared Taylor. I'm on my iPhone
Yeah.
laying on my back right now.
Just laying on,
You know?
on a bag.
Dude,
I want my
I
Strike
honestly
Force
think
to
how
show
much
up
fun
next
would
to
it
my
be?
fucking door.
Texting
How
dudes.
much
like you
fun
said.
would it be if we did like a jingle day where we booked like some studio time and all our sponsors that have been around with us for a while, we wrote a bunch of fucking jingles and just mailed them to them.
Look, that'd be fantastic. Also very time consuming, Jared. Because after that, we should
fun,
go to.
though.
You know what else would be
Fun.
awesome if we just went to all their houses and made all their beds for them.
Or we sang Christmas carols.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, yeah.
Noel carols or what are they called?
We just went door to door
Sang some Christmas carols.
right around Christmas time, sang some Christmas carols. Next up, we've got a little company that'll protect your family. Let's say they get through that Haven Mac after 50 kicks, and you got to blow a motherfucker away.
That's some Tartarus ordinance, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's TARTARUSORDNANCE.com. TartarusOrdnance.com, aka I wish a motherfucker would. It is for all your home defense ammunition needs. They
Hell
also
yeah.
sell to tactical classes, and they also deal firearms.
Well, the dope thing about them is because they do have their standard ammunition. They do reloads as well, and like shooting like a tactical class or whatever you want to do, whatever course of fire you want to do. Like if you're shooting within like 15 meters, you don't
Yep.
really need ammunition. That's gonna be great. You're just like, hey man, hit the silhouette. Like let's be cost effective with all this. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
if we're trying to shoot sub MOA here and like get a shot group put together, then
Exactly.
you're gonna buy their good shit, but they have a lot of options, which is cool.
Yep. And look, you type in the promo code Drinkin' Bros, you get 10% off everything. That's firearms, that's bullets, that's all the shit they
They're
have.
registered FFL as well.
Yeah.
10% off.
They're the fucking best. Kenny Gunter and the boys. Big fans. Big fans. Next up, we got warfightertobacco.com. Warfighter Tobacco. God damn it. I don't want to say that they're the greatest cigars ever hand rolled in the entire history of the world, but I am going to say that.
You're gonna go for it.
You might as well say
It's
it.
almost as if you took the original pages from the Bible, you ripped them out, and then you hand rolled cigars out of them, and that's what you were smoking. You're smoking Ezekiel 25:17, the path of the righteous man. Is that right? Is that
I
right?
mean, I'm not
I'm
going to
pretty
agree to
sure.
that, but
Yeah.
it sounds intriguing.
go with
It
it.
sounds intriguing.
I'm not a theologist. I'm not biblical. But I can tell you that they're the finest goddamn cigars in the land, and you will see God when you smoke them.
All right, okay.
You will see God when you
amazing.
smoke them.
I'll pick up what you're putting down. You know, we'll dip me in shit and roll me in breadcrumbs.
Welcome
That
to the
would be a
Gingerbread
smelly-
House,
that would be
kids. Go to
smelly.
warfightertobacco.com for all your cigar needs. Put down the hookah and get a fucking cigar, my man. Type in the promo code Drinkin' Bros. You get 10% off of every order. These guys are 100% combat veteran owned. And they've got cigars that are hand rolled in the Dominican Republic, made with the finest Cubano seeds.
Rocco's obsessed, you know.
I know we all are, and they've got some Drinkin' Bros cigars right now on their sites, limited edition that are for sale, and they're dope as fuck. We put them on my Instagram at stjames because Jared's always promoing his fucking Instagram,
Right at
Always?
JT
Always?
Article 15.
Yeah.
There was one time. There was one episode.
Jared, you
can't say
were
always.
lying on the floor. What's that song? You're
lying on the
bedroom
floor,
Yeah.
lying on the floor, something like that.
Mhm.
I forget what that song
I'm
is.
gonna
but
treat
yeah.
you like a lionfish and eradicate you.
I can't even hear
It's
this
super.
tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, you might as well be Rosa Parks. You're way in the back of the bus tonight on this. Next up, we got At Night She Cries While He Rides His Steed. Can I get a horse cry out of you? God damn it! I was almost like we paid for it in Hollywood.
Yeah, you know. I mean,
Horse cry.
normally
Textbook.
it's I like the sound effects. You know, might have done them in Range 15. Who knows? I don't know, but I'll do them for your book.
Did a lot of the sound
yeah,
effects.
and I appreciate it. Look, kids, if you want the finest, funniest piece of literature ever written, you got to pick up A Night She Cries While He Rides His Steed. Do I live on the edge? Yes. Do I write on the edge? Of course I do.
Anybody that listens to the show religiously, they've heard this almost 100 times at this point. If you don't have the book,
You're a
come on.
loser. You're a
Come
fucking
on.
loser. You're a
Come
fucking. You're Colin
on.
Kaepernick. You're a fucking loser. I'm gonna move in the house here so we can hear Jared Taylor.
Yeah, he is. We're gonna.
I'm actually gonna step over him. We were actually recording out on a deck.
I feel like instead of
Jared's laying on the floor because he literally you're on the stage of Blackout Drunk at this point.
You could sit on the bed, and then we got an extra chair.
Yeah, we can
here.
do
I feel like
whatever.
instead of Arnold Schwarzenegger with Mobile Strike, we're mobile podcasts tonight.
I mean,
'cause
literally,
we're literally
you
standing
can't-
over Jared right now.
You can't see it, and the cords are all over him.
I'm gonna take a
Matt,
photo
can you
for
take a photo
Instagram.
and
No,
put up on,
Yeah.
don't
on our,
have a
on
photo.
our thing because this is some goddamn embarrassing shit right here. I mean, it is fucking insanity
Yep.
what we're dealing with here.
I'm
we
sorry.
run a show called Drinkin' Bros. It's what we're supposed to do.
I have a
It's
feeling
not fucking sleeping, bros.
It-
It's drinking, bros.
Yeah, I
Jared.
almost feel like
Sleeping.
you're in hospice right now. We're visiting you. We're visiting you on your last stages because you've had some Thai food. You've had about a bottle of Tito's today.
Yeah.
You're all puffed out. You're all puffed up.
You're
now.
looking a little puffy.
Yeah,
I mean, in a good puffy,
I'm
but you're looking puffy.
today. I think it's the shirt. The shirt
Yeah. Blame the
this
shirt.
is sized a little differently than most.
Oh, you think that's what it is?
Yeah.
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 It wasn't like it came from the Baby Gap. They made that shirt just for you. It is the proper size.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys shift? You sit there.
What if
you
we
sit
want to
there.
sit on top of you and look down like we're
That's
fucking
just-
angels
Yeah.
on your
looking
drunken
down
Thai-filled
at our
body?
little
Yeah.
baby who's dying because
Yeah.
this is what it is.
I'm not dying.
You're not dying. Have you ever been close to death before?
I don't think so.
Come on.
mean-
And all your duties overseas, you've never fucking.
Well, absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
Okay,
does it-
because I'm gonna be honest. Right now, you look like this is the end. This is the end.
My
Beautiful
only-
friends, the end.
That's the Doors, by the way.
It is.
I know the Doors.
We're
Snoop
not-
Dogg did a remake.
This is the end.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true. Somebody fact check that.
No, absolutely. Snoop Dogg did the Snoop Dogg the end.
Somebody fact check that.
Snoop Doggy
Dogg.
He sampled the Doors, and Snoop Dogg has a song.
Since we're on it, let's go to this because I've had this debate with other people. I think The Chronic by Dr. Dre, followed up by Doggy Style by Snoop, were the two greatest single-handedly hip hop albums
Chronic
of
or
all
Chronic
time.
2001?
Chronic
No,
2001
no.
was a good
Original
fucking
Chronic?
CD.
Original Chronic,
Dude, Chronic
Original
2001
Chronic,
might
and
have
then
beat it
Doggy
out.
Style.
Doggy Style was amazing. I might
Those
go.
two back to back, I think, changed the world.
Yeah, but if you look at Chronic 2001, Dre introduced Eminem, which is I personally on my
He
own
did.
think, the greatest rapper of all time.
Yes.
So
So you think Chronic 2001 was the best?
I mean, Chronic was a Chronic. It put him on the map. I mean, it's legendary. But 2001 was like when I got into hip hop, and it was like
Eminem's nickname
loved it.
became the Grat.
Yeah. So, if it was up to me, you motherfuckers stop coming up to me. You know, that was my
Yeah,
jam,
yeah,
dude. That was my
yeah.
fucking jam.
Yeah. See, I still roll Chronic. The original Chronic album is. I'm gonna go ahead on a limb and say this: that was the greatest hip hop album of all time, front to back.
That's a bold statement, Cotton.
Because you could
Bold
listen.
statement.
Every song on that to me was fucking brilliant, front to back. And there's not a lot of albums that I listen to front to back where I'm like, oh shit, I am genuinely impressed by every single song over and over and over again. And then Doggy Style came out, and I felt the exact same way.
You know what I feel like with albums, like back in the day in 90s and even well before then in the 70s and 80s, like albums were written as like the album front to back was a story, right? It's almost like a film.
Yep.
Whereas now the like production studios and all that go,
They work
I
on
want a
one
hit.
single.
I want a love song,
Yeah.
and then a bunch of 8 songs that are trash, so
that
we can sell
nobody
this.
cares about.
Right,
or
so we can sell it
remembers
for
the name of.
$9.99 because you go to Lady Gaga album, you're like, oh, I love that dance song. Let me buy
Yeah.
9 other songs of shit. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right. And I think that's where it is right now, and that's where it's headed. The only way you can change that is if you take the top of the game. I think Taylor Swift does it differently. I think all of her songs are fucking hits.
She's part of the writing process, so that helps
exactly. But I think you would need Taylor Swift, Drake, Eminem, all of them to come together and literally be like, hey guys, I'm going to make the greatest album like they used to make and not just go for hits, because they have enough power at this point that
Right.
nobody's going to stop them from being like, no, we need a single. Eminem would be like, fuck you, bro. I'm giving you an album. You can do whatever you want
Right.
with it.
He might be a little different now. I mean, like, because a lot of his albums represent like what he's going through in life. That's why I'm a huge Eminem fan. Like, even when he went to Relapse before Recovery, like, dude, that was the darkest album, and it flopped. But I loved it because he did songs like My Mom, 3 A.M.
It's funny. I'll ask you
Bagpipes
about
Over
this because I
Baghdad.
read an interview with him, and he said that was my worst album, and I knew it. Is that true?
I'm not too sure. I mean, when he came out there, the reason I think he says that in retrospect, at least, he was like talking about he thought he figured the game out, where he's like, I can go as weird and as crazy as I want, and people are gonna buy my shit. So I think that was his humbling moment. And then when he came back with Recovery, with if you watch anybody that listens to Eminem, like, I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
That whole album crushed because he was like, he had a self epiphany, like, fuck, people are only gonna like me if my shit's good.
Was Rap God on that?
No, Rap God was on his next one.
Gotcha.
That was, he did the song with Rihanna. I Love the Way You Lie and all that. It was a huge album for him.
Yeah. He's done a few with Rihanna that are good.
Yeah, he did the
I
Monster.
like that one with Lil Wayne too. That didn't blow up the way I thought it would. No Love.
Yeah,
You
No Love.
did No Love.
No Love.
Yeah. Because it's Wayne doing the first verse.
Yeah.
M doing the second verse. M houses him. I mean, just fucking.
There's no
house-
comparison.
No,
as a
I mean
lyricist.
it's not even close.
Yeah.
And that, at the time, I remember people were saying, "Oh, these are the 2 best
I'm
rappers
alive again, more alive than
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
ever been. Yeah, I know that whole
I mean,
fucking verse,
he
dude.
because it just keeps ramping up. So it keeps going in that verse for Eminem, and you're like, oh shit.
Right.
Whereas Lil Wayne's is very slow, very regimented, very,
Yeah, that's why Eminem, like, he writes stories, and that's why I'm a fan. Like, it's almost like people that are into film. Like,
Same.
You can get that cut shot comedy where, like, it's catchy, you like this, but like Eminem writes like fucking stories. So you like from
Chronicles.
front to back. Like,
yeah.
there's one he did was Beautiful Pain. Like, if you listen to that song, you're like, holy fuck, he talks about struggle, and then the second part of the song is kind of like how he's gonna change his life, and the third part is just like, fuck it, dude. Let's just be us, and it's dope. Like, I love the message in this shit. So
Yeah.
I'm an Eminem fan. If you didn't catch that, Ross.
No, you're a fan.
not
You're
at
a fan?
all.
You're a fan? You're a fan? No,
Hi,
no,
my name is.
I know.
Matt.
My name is. Yeah. No, I get it. And look, Eminem's fucking awesome. Let me ask you, Jared. Front to back, what was the last album that you enjoyed every single song on it front to back that you just didn't stop?
Like recently.
It could be any time.
Oh,
'Cause,
then,
like in my life, I remember the first one for me in my life that was in my time was The Chronic and then Doggy Style, where it was like, oh my God, I loved every single album on it back to back. If I went back in history, I could listen to Stones albums, Rolling Stones, all that shit. Like Exile on Main Street's amazing later, but I didn't grow up during that.
Yeah.
Whereas I can go and listen to. It's weird. I can go and listen to all the 60s and 70s bands, and they had amazing albums front to back. But in our generation, I can only name a handful that were front to back. Is there anyone for you?
It was the first one was Sum 41's second album, the one that had pieces on it.
Some
is that like
41.
No Leash or something
Yeah,
like
No
that?
Leash.
I don't.
That one was great.
How did I pull that out of my ass?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Digga-dink-down, digga-dink-down,
Yeah.
digga-dink-down, digga-dink-da-da-da.
No, it's the one.
Some 41.
it's the
Is
one-
that's who you're going?
I think
Derek
it's
Weebly. Is that
the
his name?
second.
I don't know. He dated Avril Lavigne there for a
Yeah.
while.
They were married.
I think it came out in 2004. I was TDY
God damn
to
it.
Salt Lake City, and I bought the CD in the airport on the way there. So when we got into the rental car, I threw it in, and it was like, that was great, front to back. More recently, New Blink album.
I knew you were
The
gonna say it.
new-
The new
assuming-
Blink album.
Hold on, I'm gonna call
Yeah.
you out on that.
I
a little
know.
bit, because you didn't like.
I
the new-
hated it.
You,
Yeah.
you hated it, and I, was like,
hated
it's
it.
not a bad
the
album.
First run through, I hated it. I texted him. I was like, "This is garbage. This is fucking garbage."
What
Fuck
changed
these
your mind?
guys." When we drove from El Paso to Salt Lake, we
And
kept
bu-
listening to it.
So I
And
think Jared like
Blink lost a member, right, on this album.
yes,
Tom.
Tom.
So who filled in for Tom?
It's the
I don't
oh,
remember his
shit. He's
name.
he has another band similar, never as big as Blink, but they were man.
It's still
I'm
pretty
sorry.
big. Yeah.
All right.
Whoever's
Matt-
listening right now
Matt-
is like,
it's
you
Matt
fucking
something.
idiots. Yeah,
I think-
he's
I
pretty
hope.
good, but
Actually, we do this all the time on Drinkin' Bros.
yeah, sorry guys.
Look, you have a few drinks and you can't
Don't,
remember.
don't punch.
shit.
I don't know what his name is, but don't punch me in the face. I'll look
So-
it up
So
right
what's
now.
the name of this album, Jared?
California.
Okay, California. And you think, because I know you're a huge Blink fan, and all of the albums, do you think this is one of their best? Where would you
It's-
rank this as far as Blink
it
albums go?
progresses though. Like Blink has always done great at progression. Like if you start at Cheshire Cat, you move to
Matt
Dude
Skiba.
Ramp. Yeah, Matt Skiba.
Okay.
You move to Dude Ranch. You then go to Enema of the State. Like Cheshire Cat was kind of their breakout album, and then Dude Ranch, they pulled it together and kind of built their image.
Right.
Enema of the State, like sealed their image. Like, oh shit, you guys stepped this up. That was 12 amazing songs. And then after that, you had Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. And then you went into the Mark, Tom, and Travis show, which that's my favorite. Like, if I'm gonna listen to something from front to back, it's Mark, Tom, and Travis show.
This is like the
Okay.
obscure reference show where like I talked about Eminem and
No,
weird
but-
albums, and Jared's got this locked down. I'm like, it's
Then
funny.
But I like this because look, there's a lot of people at home who listen to shit. Everybody listens to music at home, and it's like they don't know too much about our musical choices.
Right.
So I think this is interesting.
You know what?
I went to get in line to buy self-titled in 2003. So I thought like there was gonna be a line at Best Buy for the release
At midnight.
and there wasn't. Yeah, I walked in. I was the only one there. I
look
bought 2 copies of it and then walked out.
on Sunset. There was a Tower Records. I write to music. Obviously, I write 6 days a week. And I used to wait in lines at midnight for my favorite bands to get new shit. Where I was like, oh man, can't wait to get this. And there was other people in line. Everybody was amped about it. In my life, I would say in the last 10 years, album-wise, that I thought were great front to back. Kanye's My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was amazing. And then I would say a new one came out about 2 weeks ago. Bon Iver. Bon Iver's new album
Bon
is
Iver. I don't even know who that is.
absolutely incredible. He only makes an album like once every 5 years.
Oh shit!
Yeah, his last album-
hip hop artist or
No, he's alternative. Like he sings like love songs.
That's funny, man. Like
Skinny Love. There was a song he had. Come on, Skinny Love. Let me sing it.
It's always weird when people always say like what your favorite band is. Like I'm so
Mine are
across
all
the
over the
board.
map,
Like this
yeah.
year, like Cruella, My Ammunition that they just dropped. Like I'm a huge fan of that album because it's like they actually wrote that album as a progression. It starts of like super confidence and it goes through a breakup in every single song.
Right.
And it's fucking dope, man. I'm just like that's super
I'm not
cool.
a fan of their manager.
Cruella.
Yeah,
What
I don't know, the
what
girls
happened?
seem nice.
I got into it in emails with him. He's just a fucking dick.
Well, all right.
Well, I like
That's
ammunition.
Jared. Yeah, that's Jared. Has nothing.
Well,
to do with
here's a good music story. We saw one day some band on Twitter had just tweeted us like Hour 15. We love your stuff. I'd never heard of them. I just looked it up. Like looked up their Facebook. They had 100,000 plus followers. Like
really.
oh, these are. Let me find them on iTunes.
What's the
I
name of
bought
the
it.
band?
It's Everyone Dies in Utah. I bought both their albums, listened to them all the way through. I loved them, and
Yeah.
now they're about to come out with a new album, and they just did a music video the other day. I put it up in Drinkin' Bros, and everyone was like, "Who is this?"
Yeah, so I will say that. So when I was scoring Range 15 with the music supervisor, a guy named Chris Tarantino, he writes for one of the music editors for Time Out magazine in New York. Great music. He's great taste. Has great musical taste. He turned me on to a band called the Dexatines, and again, hadn't heard of them. And I hooked me up with their manager or whatever, and was like, "Hey, Southern rock, support the troops, everything." And I got a nice vinyl care package in the mail of 5 of their albums on vinyl, and I was like, "Oh,
fuck
shit!"
Holy shit!
Yeah, and dude, 2 of them front to back were absolutely unbelievable. And that was last year when we were doing this, but so the Dexatines was my new one where I was like, "Fuck, Here's a brand new band. They're Southern rock. Not a brand. They're not brand new.
Like
They're
hard
old.
rock or like
Southern rock, like Black Crowes.
Which song
Okay,
did
hell
we
yeah.
use from them?
We used one in the trailer of the movie. It was in the body of the trailer. So there was 3 songs. The first one was Score. The second one was Dexatines. And
The
then
first one was Adam Smith, my buddy from Pennsylvania.
yes, correct.
Yeah.
And then the one in the trailer. I'm sorry, the one in the credits for the movie, called Caption.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
If there was a caption.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
that's a dope song.
it's a great song.
Hey,
and
you
it
just
felt like it was specifically written for our film.
Right, it's crazy.
And I was like, oh shit.
yeah,
It's been almost 60 days since I've seen the movie, possibly more.
that's
That
good.
feels
That is good.
I watched
feels
it. I think probably 300 times.
It was close. Yeah, it was up in the 200s.
Yeah, and I tell you what, we'll put as a favor to the band, because we used there was another song in the movie we used theirs as well. We'll put the Dexatines caption song at the end of this episode.
Oh, there you go.
So
Do
stay
it.
tuned to the end of the episode. It's one of our favorites from Range 15. It's the credits song, and it was an awesome band, totally unexpected and out of nowhere. Where I was like, oh shit, this was dope. Like, and I'm looking to try to find where they're playing. They haven't played anywhere near me, but I like finding fun, exciting bands that I don't know.
You remember right after we wrapped, I ran into the guy that sang the love song that you got?
Oh my God, Baby Come Back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby
By the
Come
way,
Back.
I hear that everywhere.
I know.
In like department stores and like
Yeah.
restaurants, and I'm like, God damn.
It's funny because I knew that song growing up, and
I did
I
too.
was like, "There's no way I know Baby Come Back. Like, how the fuck would we ever get that in the movie?" And then the band name, I was like, "Okay, I've never heard of the band that
One
did that."
hit wonder. They
What
sold.
was the name of the band?
God.
I'll go back to the Google machine.
Yeah.
Weston knows because Weston was like, hey, that's the singer for that song that you guys have in your movie.
You hung out with a singer, physically took a picture of him. You don't know the name of their band.
I know. I just took the picture with him to send to you.
It's called like the Forgottens or
that night I met Montel Williams' daughter.
Jesus.
I've got a picture of her.
Montel Williams' daughter.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's something you brag
Montel.
about. Yeah.
Montel.
Yeah. Montel.
You watch a Montel.
Player.
Yes.
Yeah, Player.
Players. The name of that band.
Baby Come Back.
Yeah, baby, come back.
I love that song.
You can blame it all on me. I thought it was Hall & Oates.
No.
Before.
Before.
And I was like, we can't get Hall & Oates. And then they were like, no, it's a band called The Play. And I was like, Player. All right, cool. So doing the music contracts for that, musicians, if they're having tough times in life, they sell off part of their catalogs.
Right.
So like this song was split up 4 different ways. I had to get 8 different contracts for that song. And somebody owned 16% of that song in like Memphis, Tennessee. So I had to get this dude to sign a contract at his fucking house for that song. Took
God
me
dang.
3 months. Awful shit. But it's one of those songs that's iconic, and everybody who hears it's like, holy shit.
That's just the Denver ambulance going
yeah,
by.
we got a
Yeah,
little
we got
Denver
the
PD
doors
out
open.
there.
Yeah.
Doors
We
are
got the
open.
doors open.
They're out there,
Me and
they're
Ross
out,
knocked
they're out there
out
being players.
a
you know?
Harambe, a coup.
We did sing
Is
in
that
Harambe.
up yet?
A
Is that
coup.
up yet?
No, it's not. Well, by the time this episode airs, it'll be up. Yeah, a little Harambe.
Harambe.
Oh, Harambe. Oh, Harambe. Yeah, that'll be up. I got a new song coming out in November. You guys have some new music coming out too, right?
We do. We just wrote one downstairs that we won't talk about, but it's
Yeah, I think we wrote 2 today.
So
actually.
good, yeah.
We got that one earlier.
Yeah.
That was a good riff too.
Yeah.
thank
I
you.
like it. What? So you're lying down. You had a hard weekend.
Yeah, well,
you tapped out, JT.
I'm not tapped out. I just comfy.
Yeah, lying on the floor. I mean, just
Lying on the
impregnated.
floor.
You look
Sorry.
like you're in your second trimester at this
No, I
point.
don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That Thai
It's
food
the
gotcha.
shirt.
That's a
It's
solid
the
6
shirt.
months of pregnancy.
It's the shirt cut. God damn it.
Yeah, no, I'm sure
Let
it
me
is.
Pull it down. We'll be fine.
I'm sure it is. What? When you were growing up, what was your favorite clothing store? Were you an Oaktown guy? Were you
No,
an
I went-
Oaktown
I went to-
357
I
guy?
went to Zoomies, bro. I wanted if you owned a Stussy shirt, you were cool.
Stussy. All right,
Yeah.
I can get behind Stussy. Did you have some Zubaz pants with that?
No, I got some Jankos.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no Zubaz.
No, just some Jankos.
I could see you some Z Cavaricis
Like
too.
I only had one. I had one olive Stussy shirt, like because it went no fear and then Stussy.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the hyper color?
What about it?
Did you ever have those?
No, I didn't.
You
have
breathe on the shirt and it changes
no,
different
No, I did not. I didn't have
different shit.
a mood ring.
No. Yeah. It looked like a mood ring. You,
No,
you
I
breathed
would
on the
not-
shirt and
I would
changed colors. What about you,
never had
Matt?
that.
Who was your jam growing up?
Dude, I mean, I didn't dress myself really. I just had hand-me-downs probably until I was like a junior.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck. So I will, admittedly, when I first joined the military, I would spike my hair tall and I would wear Hollister. I am sorry. But I would like
wear-
I'd walk by Abercrombie and be like, yeah, you fucking bitch. And then
I
I would
would
go
wear
into Hollister.
Element
So I don't know
and
what my
Zoo York.
reasoning was back
Right,
then. Like,
right.
fuck Abercrombie, but I'm going to Hollister because
I-
that's cool. I like seagulls on my fucking clothes.
Oh.
I have no idea.
Dude, I was an Abercrombie.
Were you? I could see that. You
Well,
know?
in the South, I'm from Georgia, so it was like that was a big. Abercrombie was the takeover.
What is
back
like
then.
the contemporary version of like Abercrombie and Hollister these days? Are they still?
Yeah,
in
there's
existence?
a couple. There's a store called Buckle. That's got some cooler shit.
I got a buckle story.
Yeah, you got a Buckle store.
got a Buckle
Abercrombie.
story.
Abercrombie's going through some tough times. They've closed a lot of their stores.
I'd imagine it's kind of. I bet the investors in that started the new ones. I'd be interested to see what kind of like company profile they have.
I know they
there's
were
no way
try-
they just dissolve.
I know they were trying to sell at one point.
Hmm.
Because the stock fell apart. And I know
Is there
like
a parent company that owns
Abercrombie and Fitch. I forget who it is. I know it's out of Columbus, Ohio.
Okay,
but
well,
Oh,
yes,
wow, Columbus.
yeah.
I know that.
And then I would say, God, I mean, in a strange way, like fucking Gap. Gap
Yeah.
has kind of taken over that mid range where it's like, all right, this is shit that's kind of cool and it's cheaper.
Well, you know
on
what
the-
it is
on the
too,
s-
which a lot of women H&M. That's the jam, and that's been crushing.
I like H&M.
Dude, when girls, if I date them, they go to H&M. I'm like, fuck yeah, you paid $7 for a long sleeve, and you look good as fuck in it.
Hell
you know?
yeah, dude! I will say this: H&M, growing up, was my go-to. Like, hey, I need something cheap but cool looking, so nobody knows. So you can get like black button-ups,
Right.
all kinds of shit. And it's for whatever reason, it's super fucking cheap. But it looks good, and especially like in New York City, that's your go-to. Because otherwise, you're gonna get fucked at like
Right,
you
the
know Hugo
specialty
Boss or-
stores. For,
yeah, all that shit.
hey, $1,800 for a jacket. Like,
and
who the
H&M
fuck has that money?
H&M
Yeah.
works just as well. Works just as
Abercrombie
well in a
and this
pinch.
stuff, like, you guys are speaking grace. Like, I never got out of Zoomies. I would just buy Zoo York and Element stuff.
Zoo York,
Zoo
yeah.
York,
Yeah,
by
Zoo
the way.
York, Element.
I talked to their founder and owner on Instagram all the time. He gave me his email and stuff.
Really?
Because I was interested, like, about 5-6 months ago. I was just like, dude, I have a clothing brand now. Like, I would love to hear your story. I bet I could learn shit from you because you started this out of your garage, you know, created this brand that then became in Zoomies everywhere, and all these skaters love Zoo York. All my sweatshirts, everything growing up was all Zoo York.
Oh,
And,
really?
And he was like, bro, I looked you guys up. Like, you guys are fucking legit. He's like, yeah, man. Fucking, here's my email. Hit me up.
Of course that's how it is.
You know,
Of course,
Well, me and Bucky had a long conversation about Zoo York and kind of how the skateboard culture kind of.
But
at
by the way, for the
pinnacle-
audience at home, he's referencing Bucky Lasik, skateboarding extraordinaire.
Yeah, so like where the whole sport as a whole, like was at the high end in 2003, 4, 5. X Games was huge,
Right.
And then you just saw this die off, and it slowly came off. And what brands survived? What pros survived? You know.
I see you as
Who's
like a
still-
Vans guy.
No, I was
Did you
never,
have Vans? Did you do that?
No,
that?
I had Etnies.
I wore the
was
fuck
E,
out of
I was
Vans.
E
Yeah.
Enterprises, so Emerica, Etnies, and S. Like you have to stay with the E.
Oh yeah, that was you.
Yeah, because I mean, Etnies.
you
had-
were literally trapped in 2004.
Yeah,
No,
It's
no,
cute.
You've never
It's
escaped
cute.
it. You've never
I don't
escaped
want to
it.
leave it.
By the way, speaking of X Games, I know we were talking about this at lunch today. Shaun White
Yeah.
dropping off the face of the fucking planet in
Yeah.
X Games. What do you think it is? Is he too old?
I don't know, man. I think,
Maybe he's just tired and doesn't give a fuck.
yeah, I
Like,
think, like,
what's
when-
another
He
gold
lost
medal?
here's the thing. He lost in the Olympics and then fucking disappeared. Hasn't been back in an X Games or anything.
Well, I think a guy like that.
He's in a
like,
band. He's in a band, actually.
That
He's
sounds
getting, he's
fun.
getting sued for sexual harassment. That's not fun.
Oh, that's not.
He had a female drummer,
I
and
was
he
talking
was
about
blasting her with dick
yeah.
pics.
Really?
No, dead serious, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I think a guy like that, man, like your progression of a career, like in that kind of sport, and we were talking about this earlier, like snowboarding or like those extreme sports, motocross, like the payoff of what you get monetarily and whatever is significantly low compared to the risk you take. Like do it, like people are like, oh, do a double fucking backflip on a bike, like a fucking motocross bike. You fuck that trick up, you are 9 months in the hospital
Yeah.
if you don't die.
Yeah.
So it's like guys like Travis Pastrana and all them and Sean White. I like the utmost respect because I'm like, I would never take that risk to my body because I'm more of like a conservative. Like, yeah, if I have to fucking shoot someone in the face to protect my family, obviously I'm going to do that. But like, I don't really feel like doing 9 backflips in the air because I could be at home fucking making sure I can provide. But cheers to them. And I would imagine that at some point he was like, okay, I didn't get that gold. I didn't get the accolades that I wanted. Well, he's got plenty of golds, but like the last one. And he's just like, I'm going to check out. I'm going to go do me for a little bit, which is awesome.
You know what's weird that you say that because he had a huge crash. And I don't know if you remember. I think he was trying to do like a 1280 or 900, what the fuck it is. And he bounced his head off the
lip, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, bam. Yeah.
And after that, it was all fucking downhill for him. Like he ended up winning that race and getting back in it. But after that, like he looked too scared to do the shit that he was typically doing.
I've got some data for you.
Okay.
So he has 2 Olympic gold medals. He holds the X Games record for gold medals, highest overall medal count.
He does.
And has 10 ESPY awards. So at this point, it's like, what the fuck? Like, why?
How old is he?
Why? He's
young.
You're younger than me. He's 30.
He's 30.
Yeah, my
He's
age.
30 years old. And if memory serves me, he started at 14.
Yeah.
I think his first X Games 14. So he's technically been in the sport for 16 years.
Dude, and
at
you
this point.
look at like the
So it's like, why? What is another medal going to do?
I guess, but why not retire and say goodbye to everybody rather than just vanish, I guess?
No, because you have circumstances like, I'm a huge MMA fan. You like the Chuck Liddells and stuff. If, you get that one brutal KO where you get knocked out. Like, it's hard to like, do you want to walk back in? You have that. You're just like, I'm done, man. I'm cool. Let me check that box because let me fucking be can't even think how I used to, or like support my family and be present in life for the next 40 years I hope to live. So
yeah, because
you never know.
You look at Ronda Rousey's coming back to fight, by the way.
She is.
She's
I know.
coming back.
Nunez, dog.
I know. I believe it's December 30th.
Yeah, 206, I believe she's fighting right after Madison Square Garden.
Exactly. And that was one of the most vicious knockouts, man or woman, that I've ever seen. I'm surprised she's coming back.
I think she's that's the only time she's taken that type of hit. She'll be fine. I've seen like the Chuck Liddell, Rashad Evans knockout was fucking brutal. The Dan Henderson Bisping 1 knockout was fucking brutal. So you see people come back. You don't know what their durability is, but like you start checking that box when you take fucking TBIs and brain concussions like that. Look at the NFL, the studies they do. It's nasty,
so
man.
Within the last month, we've had Nate Wessel come and visit us out in Salt Lake, who was a professional BMXer, and he builds all the ramps for Nitro Circus and Camp Woodward.
Right.
And then
did he build Sean's by any chance? Sean White?
Did he build his ramp?
He's got a half pipe.
Probably. I mean, we can ask him.
Yeah.
There's only like 2 big buildings.
And I'll get to why I'm asking you this after this story.
But dual conversations with Bucky Lasik being here and hanging out with him, and then having Nate out here, and then we were in Vegas with Mike Escamilla, the Rooftop, the BMXer. Like, we've all been talking about Dave Mira. And it was funny because on the plane,
by the way, who just killed himself.
So on Bucky's flight,
he's a legend in the BMX world.
From LA, from San Diego to here, he watched the movie Concussion for the first time, and he was like, "Dude, I've been wanting to watch it, but it's like that's all of us are convinced that this is what happened to Mira," which is funny because Wessel said, "No kidding." 2 days before he did it, Dave was on the phone with him
he killed himself, right?
Booking booking flights to come see Nate or go do something with Nate. So he's like, why the fuck was he planning a trip with me?
Yeah, and the circumstances around that, like he was in his pickup truck, he drove somewhere and then just killed himself.
That is literally the opening of Concussion.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what happened to Dave. and
and those are like actual mental health issues that need to be addressed. And I think that like,
but does he know?
No. It's physical health issues. Like he has so many concussions, over 300 concussions.
No. I know they're physical. It's not a mental health. I'm saying the physical detriment that he went through has the mental, like it changes your mental thinking processes. So it's like, look at through the NFL and all the studies that they've been doing with like, you see people say OJ Simpson, all that shit. Like there's a lot of like linear avenues that come back to one thing, like brain concussions and brain injuries are, and same with veterans, right? It's like they'll blame it on PTSD, that's in its own right, but there's a lot there to be said about TBI and brain injury where like pain management and a lot of other things you can do, like neurology. Like that's what we need to focus on studying, because you can save people's lives and try to at least get them in a better place. And I ain't a fucking I ain't no doctor.
I ain't a doctor,
but,
man.
But there's a lot of studies that are starting to come out, and I think it's awesome, because then we can hopefully save people's lives that are doing extreme sports and creating these entertainment worlds for us, and also serving our country. Like if all those avenues kind of brought their technology together and their research, then let's try to find some way to help these dudes
there's
out.
Too much money in the NFL. Obviously,
you'll never get.
They paid them off. They just did a $750 million concussion fund, if you will, to fund off all the players who were suing from all over the years. X Games has zero of that. Like I don't even know if they have a union whatsoever.
Yeah,
so there's no protocol in that. And those guys are going bigger, harder, faster, stronger every day. And it's like, I mean, they're getting real fucked up.
Well, I think they don't take many hits. Like NFL dudes are getting fucking cracked, but they take bigger hits, because you go fucking 25 feet up in the air on a half pipe and you land in your head with the fucking soft shell helmet. Good night. Good night.
Exactly. And this brings me back to my Shaun White thing earlier. Was he's one of the only snowboarders ever who's had a half pipe built at his place, at his house, so he could personally train on it.
Right.
He was very Jordan-esque. He didn't let any other athletes train with him because he didn't want them stealing his shit, and he wanted all the practice time for himself, knowing that everybody else had to go to a mountain, pay, and then do it themselves, and then do it in public and try to train. But I wonder how many hits he took by himself trying out, testing new tricks. Because if you think about it, snowboarding, there is no training grounds that is helpful with that you couldn't get hurt on. But like Travis Pastrana, for example, when he's doing tricks, goes into a foam pit.
No, but even that, and it's funny you reference that. Even if you were to talk about like motocross guys that do foam pits, like a lot of times they'll do backflips, drop the bike, and even the foam pit, they knock themselves out all the fucking time
in the
foam pits, all the time.
I didn't know that,
because that bike bounces back. You're not getting the bodily injury of like, hey, I broke my fucking arm, but there's still a bike that is getting stopped in about 6 feet of foam and snapping back on you.
Shit,
they knock themselves out all the fucking time.
Wow.
And I don't know if we can talk about a thing, but
we're friends with Travis Pastrana.
He actually released that video, so
did?
you
Okay.
can talk about that now. He
Go ahead, tell the audience.
Making a video
for us, man. He was saying, "What up, Art 15 crew?" Did a backflip in the pit, and then his slammed on his bike and knocked himself out and got a pretty bad concussion.
So take Travis, top of his game, best in the sport,
and the coolest motherfucker. He's
exactly.
Awesome.
How many concussions has he had?
Jesus, I don't even know.
No one,
right?
I don't want to know.
How do you stay normal after that? Because you take Dave Mira, who was beloved by everybody. To my knowledge, everybody I've spoken to was like nicest guy there was, genuine, awesome, fucking helping out young kids who wanted to do BMX, and then just to suddenly drive off because he's got kids. He used to do this thing for dads on his Instagram. Just showing what a great dad and what it means to be a dad on Instagram. He would post pictures of his kids and things like that. And then all of a sudden one night, boom, he drives out into the middle of nowhere, pulls the trigger and blows his brains out for seemingly no reason. Like, I guess what's to stop anybody else from doing that? Like, shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, so you got to kind of analyze the data and like hopefully come to a. I don't know. There's so many different things you could talk about on that, but
I know. It's just it's one of those things.
It's a tragedy,
It is.
I don't know the answer to it.
And you look at some of the guys in the NFL like Brett Favre or Travis Pastrana and X Games. Like there's a lot of sports that are getting more and more dangerous, and then especially for
because
ratings.
you have to go bigger.
You have to
compete.
You have to for ratings. I mean, I saw this guy about 2 months ago. He was going for the longest jump over fucking cars on a BMX bike and ate it. I mean, fucking completely ate it. Hand over body, broken hand or whatever. But it was live TV. And that's the aspects of live TV where you're like, all right, shit, what do you do now? And the guy you can tell was fucked up, but he was like, I'm going to go one more time. My dad is here. And it was just like, not only is your dad here, but there's a million people watching. And then he got back up, completed the trick. And then they had this interview with him. He was gone. Well,
I even think that, like, look at motocross, right? I think they do triple backflips right now.
Yeah.
Didn't someone land a triple backflip?
So.
Somebody's landed a triple.
I believe so, because
How
Travis.
do you even attempt that for the first time?
And like, dude, but you're going so high and so violent on that twist. Like, there's no salvaging that. It's not like, let me PLF, let me parachute landing fall this fucking like you're eating bike, you're breaking a bone if you
I'll
don't
be
land
with
that.
one of these crazy motherfuckers tomorrow night. Gavin Godfrey.
Oh yeah.
I'm rolling over to his house once we get back into town.
What does he do?
He's one of the Nitro Circus motocross guys.
Okay.
Biker and motocross. They
Yeah,
got
talk to them. I would be ask him the question. How many concussions do you think he's had?
yeah, that would be good.
Try to find out where he's at on that, because a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
Look, NFL players get right back in the game, and that's shit. They play the rest of the game like nothing happened, and it's like it's something that'll catch up to you years later, not now. Kind of like you, Jared. You've had enough vodka tonight that
I
it's
feel
not
like
gonna
you're ready
kill
for
you.
a nap.
It's not going to kill you today.
I think it's ready for a Drinkin' Bros of the night. Because
I've got the Drinkin' Bro. I got the Drinkin' Bro of the week.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Why are you rubbing your belly like that when you say that?
God, look, the audience can't see it. He's rubbing his belly like we're at Jellystone National Park. You were a Yogi the Bear.
God. I love picnic baskets.
I know you do.
With hot dogs.
Pooh, you remind me of Winnie the Pooh. We should get you a tiny little red shirt that barely fits, and then we can get you.
We're over here talking about fucking injuries and TBI and this, and he's over here like Shamu the whale.
I know, but we can get
ShamWow.
your tattoo guy to fucking stitch him up in the back, put some stitches on his back like Winnie.
Yeah,
and just put him in a half
Pooh.
red shirt. Yeah, Jared the Pooh.
Jared the Pooh.
Is that a new nickname now?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Jared the Pooh. Just getting his little head stuck in honey pots.
Honey pots. I just want some honey.
I just want some honey.
Some honey.
Rabbit's out. Pooh,
She goes.
stop eating my.
Come in some of this.
I don't know how you guys
Sweet
whisper.
molasses.
That's so good.
Sweet,
Some of that
sweet.
sweet mahogany. Some of that birchwood.
All right, Jared. Who is
Birchwood.
the Drinkin' Bro?
Who is the
Drinkin'
Drinkin'
Bro of
Bro
the
of the
week.
week?
We'll go two of them. Nate Wessel and Mike Escamilla, who are right now overseas in Qatar and Kuwait and Baghdad, doing the Bikes Over Baghdad tour for the troops.
That's dope, man.
Two good friends of ours. We love them.
Yeah.
They're awesome. It's cool that they still do this. Like,
That's amazing.
go over and perform, like, because they do it all within one day. They show up in the morning. Nate builds the ramps by hand with the tools that the troops give him, and then they put on a BMX road show in the evening once he's got a park built.
You know, and I'm glad, and so cheers to them, first of all.
Cheers.
And then,
Rooftop
and I'm also
Nate.
glad we have friends like that, so they could build Jared maybe like a wheelchair ramp.
Right,
To get him
something
home.
to get him fucking home.
Because
in
on
this
nights like this,
fuck,
it
man.
is.
I'm struggling over here.
Nate, I'm sorry.
I'm backed out of a sliding glass door with a fucking chair outside,
I know.
looking at this shit.
We've
you know?
worked our way around Fat Brando here at this point, so he can lay on
You
the
literally-
floor.
What the fuck
This
is
is-
You
Fat
literally decided
Brando?
you did not want to do
Dr. Moreau.
He didn't want to do the fucking podcast, so we walked in, both of us, to watch you like a beached whale.
I just thought
We're over you right now.
Yeah.
Like we're
I just-
literally standing on
I
top of
thought
you
it was a
looking down
good
at you.
touch for the show. One of us should have at least done it from the floor.
I can't even.
Now he's touching your leg like he doesn't even know his
now
arm.
You're touching my leg.
I'm
You were
sorry.
pooing yourself, like rubbing your belly, and now you're touching my leg as if I'm going to sympathize with your situation.
Come
Like,
on.
I watched you drink an entire bottle of Tito's on a Sunday. On a Sun. Not there's anything wrong with that, but Jesus, man,
Yeah.
we got shows to do. You know.
I just wanted to be there for the drink.
Well, for Jared,
For Jared, toddlers and tiaras Taylor, Jared Pooh Bear Taylor.
it's not pooping.
Pooh, we're gonna call you Pooj, P-O-J.
Jared the human centipede
Pooch.
Taylor.
Pooch.
Pooj, dude. We
Pooch.
got fucking Winnie the Pooj down here, lying on the floor, dude. Just rolling around. You were rolling around on a carpet of an Airbnb. I mean,
Winnie the Pooch.
just Pooj, dude. Pooj Taylor. This. Look, I'm surprised anybody's still around right now.
Yeah, if you're still listening, it's awesome.
God bless.
Thank you for being loyal. Thank you for being loyal.
So for Mr. Matt Best, Pooj
Cheers.
Taylor, I am Ross Patterson, and this is the Dexatine song we were talking about, called Captions.
Yeah,
that was in range
let's-
15.
Let's uplift this a little bit, you know?
Shall we?
Roll it, Ross.
1, 2, 3.
So are you running from your fears? You can save your money, but you got to spend the years. If there was a movie of your life up on the screen, would you change the order? Would you find the missing scenes? Are you here now today, or are you running from your past? One way or another, you ain't gonna make it last. God knows it's hard. God knows it's hard to love you when you do yourself this way. God knows it's hard. God knows it's hard to love you when you do yourself this way. If there was a caption on the picture of your life, would it tell the story that you tell yourself inside?